can go ask any, CrossFit athlete that can do 10 CrossFit pull-ups. Say you get 10 people in a room that you ask that question to, and then you can go ask them to do 10 regular pull-ups clean. Maybe one of those people is actually going to be able to do the freaking 10 pull-ups clean. And that's out of the CrossFitters. It's like if you go to a room of 10 calisthenics athletes and you ask them to do CrossFit pull-ups, they'll knock out the 10 regular pull-ups clean, and then they'll do the CrossFit pull-ups just to like finish it off. Grab the coffee. Alright, so what's going on, everybody? Today this video is going to be on gym stereotypes or fitness stereotypes. And I'm gonna pretty much, I got a few of them here. I'm gonna read them off and I'm gonna just give my opinion on what I think about them, and if they're, accurate or not, or if they're just kind of like, talked about a little bit too much, but they're not actually true. Okay, so first one that we got is cardio kills gains. So cardio kills gains. So actually, this is true. If you've seen like any cross-country runner that's just like running down the sidewalks like while you're driving by in your car, and they're like super skinny, that's because when you run like for miles and miles and miles on end, you will start to, obviously burn your fat, but then these kids start to get really skinny because they have no fat to burn, so then they just start burning muscle, and you're not really training your muscle in a way where it's contracting and decontracting, so you're actually breaking down the muscle to then build it back up. It's more of an endurance thing, because once your heart rate gets past a certain point, you'll just start to burn. And so yeah, cardio does kill gains. And so what I would recommend people to do is walk when they do their cardio, uphill if you can, and don't overdo it. Simple as that. Unless your goal is to be a cross-country runner, then just go at it. So the next one here is you need to take supplements to progress. Now, I used to think this, like when I started, I was like, okay, well I have to do my workout, and then I have to take my whey protein, my isolate, and I was like, okay, then I gotta do, this thing and this thing and this thing. And it's not that like doing that is bad, but it's not needed. Like I think that I've seen better results and better health overall just by being able to go to the gym and train, not feeling that I need to have one, like energy drinks, two, like all the whey protein afterwards, three, like back like a while ago, my diet was like started very solid, then it kind of went to like and now it's back on more solid. But it's interesting because now after my injury I train more naturally. I don't really go to the supplement side anymore. Actually, when you go to like a GNC or you go to a vitamin shop, I've done this, so I recommend you guys to do this too, but when you go look at every single protein bar, every single whey protein, every single like BCA and all these other things, they all have like ingredients like sucralose. And this is what I like to say is, if you can't read it where it says ingredients and then you can't read the ingredients, it's probably something that you most likely don't need to put in your body. And so being natural through and through, and I used to drink energy drinks like non-stop. Like there's people that on quote would say, I never see you without an energy drink in your hand, and it was true, because it was most likely like my third one of the day. But I'm honestly really proud of myself because I quit energy drinks. I only drink coffee and a lot of espresso because it's better for you. better for you. But yeah, and supplements, I don't go to supplements anymore. And natural supplements are a little bit of a different story. I think everything really that we need is already, here. You don't need to take any like synthetic things. Alright, the next one is train to failure on every set. Now I think training to failure is very crucial when it comes to some trainings. I don't believe that training to failure every single time is necessarily a smart thing to do, because it can lead to injury, especially if your body's not like acclimated within like training that intensely every single day. You most likely will hurt yourself. If it's not major, it'll definitely be like a muscle strain. When I first started, I would get muscle strains like all within my bicep, tricep area, especially when I would try to do anything incorporated with the rings like right off the bat. When it comes to gymnastics is more associated with the rings, but when you use rings in some of your trainings, it is actually really good because it helps you use your stabilizing muscles. And most people, even when training some of these hard skills like just natural body weight, you're not technically using... Oh, hey birdies. Just checking it out. You're just not naturally using your stabilizing muscles. And so yeah, when I first tried to do like ring dips for the first time, like I was like, yeah, this is tough. So yeah, I would say training to failure, it really just depends on what you're training, what you're trying to achieve within your training, how advanced you are. I would probably save that end of training for when you get a little bit more into like your intermediate advanced area, because trying to train to failure as a beginner, it's not bad, but it just can most likely cause an injury. No pain, no gain. I will say this though, kind of like attaching that one to the failure. No pain, no gain is the next one. This is true. Like if you're not like at least having like a little I wouldn't say necessarily pain, but like struggle through your exercises, like you're not really doing what you need to do, and you could either choose to do a harder variation, or choose to put a little bit more weight on the exercise, or there's a few things, but the one important thing with no pain, no gain is that's a saying and a stereotype just to kind of like push out like a weak mind to a certain degree, because like if you think you can just like go to the gym or train and not have to like go through a little struggle to make some progress, it's like you're kind of out of your mind in that sense. But like you definitely have to go through a little struggle to get anywhere with anything. So that's what I would kind of say with no pain, no gain. This next one here is you have to lift heavy to build muscle. Now, I would say, yeah, you want to lift heavy to build muscle, because that's how you do it, right? But at the same time, you can build a lot of muscle mass by doing volume. So heavy weight will build like strength for a short time, and that's good, but that's why power lifters do like only a couple sets, and that's like their one rep, because that's what they do. And then you kind of go, you look at like the different techniques of things. So with calisthenics, yes, lifting heavy will build muscle, but so does volume. And in calisthenics, volume is what really matters in a lot of ways. But to build muscle, lifting heavy definitely will get you to build muscle. It's just more about technique are you trying to accomplish within your training style? Or the next one is, rest days are for weak people. Oh. Well, rest days are for weak people, so I wouldn't necessarily agree with that. I wouldn't really necessarily agree with that because I do think rest days are an important thing within, I think, one's start of a journey, and even for like the pros. Like, to be quite honest with you, something that I've learned over the years of training is that I used to think like, oh, when I get stronger, these things will just be easier. And like, yeah, things become easier, but it doesn't necessarily mean like you should train at an easier, like have an easier time with your training. And so like the skill level technically always stays the same. And so by me kind of like going into like that, the reason why I say rest days aren't for weak people is because genuinely, if you're always pushing yourself to a limit that you know that you want to, obtain or achieve, then most likely you're putting your body through some shit. Like if you really want to get there, like you're gonna put your body through, the training to obviously obtain, either the skill or the physique or the, anything that you want to achieve. And so, yeah, I would say if you're pushing yourself to, a pretty high standard, I think a rest day is perfectly fine. And I think it's actually more, you should take those rest days when your body tells you to, because one thing I've learned with injuring myself is listen to yourself, listen to your body, because your body doesn't lie to you. You know your body best. And so yeah, rest days are not for weak people. Just listen to your body, make sure you're healthy. Okay, the next one is if you're not sore, you didn't train hard enough. So some people like to talk about this one like of the day of, like they're training like right after they're done training, like they're like, oh, am I sore? Or if it's like the next day. I like to tell people to go off the next day. I mean, if you're sore the day like of right after you're done training, like most likely you have a pump and like you're feeling good. And yeah, you might feel sore if you went in that day, because I've definitely had those days. But when I've noticed it the most for myself is like on the next day. And so it's, if you feel that you're sore the next day, it most likely means, okay, you push yourself, a good amount with that workout, to where your body actually needs to recover within that, area of which you worked. So that's a good, but the thing is I will say, don't let that soreness fool you, because sometimes people's bodies just easily get sore. Let's just say it like that, easily. I just know some people, they go to the gym, they barely do anything, and they're like, oh man, I'm sore. Yeah, don't be one of them. All right, the next one is bodyweight exercises are only for warm-ups and beginners. This is a complete lie. Bodyweight exercises are honestly probably a lot harder than what people actually realize when it comes to doing, body weight training to weight training. Body weight exercises are definitely not just for beginners and warm-ups. I know that they're used a lot for beginners and warm-ups because that's what most people can actually do with their body, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. But body weight training goes way beyond just the warm-ups and the beginners. And that's how, professionals like myself, that's why I'm here. I'm here to help you get there. But no, bodyweight exercises go from beginner all the way up to pro level. It's pretty amazing. But okay, so the next one here is calisthenics can't build real muscle. Well, I would actually like to beg to differ. Calisthenics builds real muscle, and if we're going to compare this to any sport, I'd like to compare it to CrossFit, because CrossFit blew up. Why did CrossFit blow up? It was very easily obtainable because every skill and every movement within CrossFit involves momentum. And when you involve momentum within an exercise or a skill, it will, when involving it into the strength side, will make it easier. That's just a known fact. And when you do something with, that's slow and controlled and, more focused on in that sense, it is way harder to do. And that's just hands down. You can go ask any, CrossFit athlete that can do 10 CrossFit pull-ups, and then you can go ask them to do 10 regular pull-ups clean. And say you get 10 people in a room that you ask that question to, maybe one of those people is actually going to be able to do the freaking 10 pull-ups clean out of the 10 people you ask. So it's and that's out of the CrossFitters. And then it's if you go to a room of 10 calisthenics athletes and you ask them to do CrossFit pull-ups, they'll knock out the 10 regular pull-ups clean, and then they'll do the CrossFit pull-ups just to finish it off. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that. But calisthenics, I would say, probably builds the realest muscle, the realest strength that you can build within your lifetime. And the last one here is you need a gym membership to get in shape. This is a lie. This is an excuse that people like to make up in their brain because it gives them one extra thing to take a step back from before actually committing to something. One thing that I've learned, especially being in my sport for years, coming back from a torn pec tendon, is a lot of people are afraid to commitment. They're afraid to just being okay, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and this is how I'm going to execute it. And a lot of people have a hard time just committing or starting within something that they want to do. And not having a gym membership is usually a big portion of which people like to bring up. And so they're oh, I gotta go to the gym. But that's the really beautiful thing about calisthenics is you can do that shit right at your house, right at home. Or if you wanted to, you can go to a park. There's a lot more options out there when it comes to calisthenics. You can still go to a gym if that's where you would like to go and train. But I guess you don't need a gym membership to actually do anything. You don't need to train in a gym to actually train. So don't let that stop you. But yeah, guys, that was 10 stereotypes a lot of people say within the community and just in general, and kind of wanted to go through and give my take on them. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't checked out, Instant Calisthenics is live with the Origin Obsidian outfit that I actually have on right now. There's 15 available, all made from scratch, made them myself, paid attention to every single detail. Just like these super deep pockets within these freaking joggers. That's probably one of my favorite parts because I don't know about you, but I used to wear joggers all the time that I would put my phone in the pocket and it would just fall out every single time I sat down. And with these, I swear I could put like 5 phones in my pocket and it wouldn't even fall out. So I mean, and you know, there's zippers on them too, so it keeps it secure. But if you haven't checked it out, there's only 15 available. It is a high ticket purchase, but everything that is purchased goes back to the freestyle community and to this sport of freestyle calisthenics. And you know that I love you guys. Thank you guys for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.